Sometimes when you're wrapping a bike, it's a lot easier to wrap it upside down. I'm also going to be using flexible wrapping, so things such as fabric, paper tablecloths, cellophane from a florist are really brilliant things to use because they mould around the bike so much easier. You need quite a lot to be able to cover a bike, but obviously the materials can be recycled later on. I'm going to start off by turning the handlebars round and having the wheel flushed with the handlebars. It will just make it a flatter item to wrap. I'm also going to run out of hands, so a tall stool or a chair is a real helping hand. Take your handlebars straight and the wheel is also going to be straight. When I brought the other end round and gathered the materials, you will need to have a little bit of ribbon ready. I'm going to start gathering the cellophane roughly into the centre of the bike. I'm just making the paper tablecloth quite neat around the bike because you will be able to see a little bit through it, through the cellophane. You're going to gather the cellophane into the centre. Secure with your piece of ribbon. I'm going to use some sticky tape and some scissors for the next part, and I'm going to start folding in the sides to conceal the edges of the bike. If you haven't got a wide ribbon to tie onto the bike, blow up a few colourful balloons with either some string or some ribbon and add those instead. They'll make it really eye-catching and fun. Finally, remember to cut your ribbon with some sharp scissors at an angle. And there we have our wrap bike. The easiest way to wrap a bike is with a bed sheet. Everybody's got a bed sheet and it's really easy to do. I'm also going to be tying in a big bow, so have some wired ribbon which you can buy from the florist and some sharp scissors ready to hand. Before you start, it's a good idea to move the handlebars so they go straight along the bike. Bring the bed sheet around the bike. I'm then going to bring the two sides in and tie them into the centre. Pull the bedding so you get these nice pleats. Cross over the two ends. And then I'm going to do a knot to finish. Fluff out the ends so it resembles a bow. And here's the fun bit, we're going to add a big bow and some baubles so it doesn't just look like a bed sheet. I've got my collection of baubles through my fingers and I'm going to feed the ribbon through the ends. To hide the strands of the baubles, I'm going to tie a bow at the top. I'm using a remnant of quite wide ribbon. I'm going to do several circles. Directly opposite, pop your hand and grab the ribbon. Scrunch it into the centre. You're then going to start pulling these loops out. I'm then going to tie this in with my ribbon on here. I'm going to repeat the same process with a thinner ribbon. If you have a long piece of ribbon at the end, finish off by tying a bow. And there we have our creation. This style of wrapping for a bike is a cracker. It's really simple to do and it's ideal if you can use flexible wrapping such as cellophane, a paper tablecloth or even fabric. I'm going to be using cellophane but you can see through it, so I'm going to line it with a paper tablecloth. You'll find it helpful to actually stick the two together by using some double-sided tape. I've prepared the bike ready by getting the handlebars to go flushed with the cycle. I'm going to lay it flat onto the wrapping. I'm bringing the end over the bike. I'm going to straighten out the cellophane now so I can start sealing the edge. I'm going to use double-sided tape as well as Scotch tape to seal the ends together because I'm worried they may come apart, and this is a bit of extra security. I'm going to start scrunching both the sides so it resembles a cracker, and I'll need some ribbon to do that. So I'm going to measure roughly about 1/2 metre of ribbon. Use something like your hands or your arm, so when you cut the sides, they are both the same length. The remnant that we've just cut off, you may be able to tie that in as well, also with the offcut of the paper tablecloth. Pull all the ends out so it's neat and tidy. Fluff them up and you're going to tie it in with the ribbon. Use your hands as a measuring tool and cut away any excess. And there we have our cracker. This is a purse style wrapping, and because of the size of the bike, I'm using 2 paper tablecloths. I'm going to stick them together with double-sided tape. Sometimes it's easier to actually wrap the bike upside down because you'll find it's a lot more stable to wrap. I'm going to bring both of the ends above the top of the bike. Starting with the centre, I'm going to start rolling the wrapping towards the bike. It is quite a fiddly job, so it may be helpful to have an extra set of hands to do this. I'm then going to staple just below the roll. I'm going to carry on and make a slight curve. Now that I've done all of my stapling, I can pop that away. I'm going to secure it and make it really tidy with double-sided tape. Now that we've done the rolling, I'm going to add some sparkly ribbon and make a really nice bow. Just make sure you position it where the wheel is. Otherwise, if you place it in the centre, you may find the material may sag. You then need an extra length of ribbon. And what I'm doing is cutting the ribbon at sharp angles. What I'm then going to do is tie my little lengths of ribbon in with the ribbon going around the bike. Before I do that, you need to scrunch the centre and start layering all the ribbons in the centre. I'm then going to tie this spike in with the ribbon here. Just to get the balance right, I'm going to trim the ribbons roughly the same length and have it in a circle. And there we have our spike bow. This little children's bike, I've decided to do a crossover method using 2 different cellophanes. Make sure you've got a small amount of ribbon pre-cut ready, about 1/2 metre. You need to have your bike upside down. I folded the purple cellophane roughly the same width as the handles of the bike. I'm then going to bring all of the sides up together. Gather the cellophane above the bike. I'm then going to bring the purple sides up and over. Grab your ribbon and secure. I'm going to cut down my cellophane and then tie in some extra ribbon to make a really pretty bow. With your extra piece of ribbon, you're going to make big circles around your hand. I'm going to grab the end there and go to the opposite side, grab it into the centre. I'm then going to pull all of these loops out. To finish off the best bit, I'm going to tie in all of my loops with the ribbon that's around the bike. Any leftover ends of ribbon, all I'm doing is rolling them around my finger so it looks like another loop. And there we have our crossroads style bike.